Okay, it's time for a little video game review, and today it's going to be WWE 12. You know, I took a big break from wrestling video games for a while because they were the same. Um, the last game that I bought was SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, so not a big break, but I missed quite a few games in between. I mean, the 3 games that I didn't get to play. Never touched those games. The controls on those games, I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that you had to hold LB and a grapple. It was overly complicated. It was so far because, you know, it just it didn't mesh well with the game to have one of the major things, a grapple, be a shoulder button. And not only that, but the storylines are boring. And the thing is, storyline modes in all wrestling games have never been that great. I've never enjoyed them at all. I'd rather just make my own matches and exhibition. There was nothing really too fun about it. I think the best story mode was probably Here Comes the Pain. Every other one was just kind of lame. I thought at first that it was kind of cool in Shut Your Mouth, that you could like roam in 3D and talk to people, and that was also in Just Bring It. But Shut Your Mouth was a lot longer because it was a whole year instead of just a couple of weeks. So anyway, I picked up WWE 12 along with Batman Arkham Asylum last year, so I know this review is a little bit overdue, but I was playing Batman for a while, and I came back to this game, and I have to say that I've got a lot of mixed feelings about it. This game has something new in it, WWE Universe, which is different than Career, because in 2009, if memory serves correctly, they had Career mode, and then they had Story mode. And the difference was that there wasn't really a story in Career mode. It was just that you go through a bunch of random opponents until you win the belts and all that. So, that was the mode that I mostly played because, Career mode is just annoying. There's too many cutscenes. The storylines are lame anyway, so it's like, who really fucking cares? But, but that still affects the rating of the game because, wrestling, WWE is all about storyline. So if you're gonna make a WWE game, you best have some good fucking storylines, motherfucker. It's pretty much just a given. Okay, so anyway, what to talk about in WWE 12? First off, the graphics are amazing in this game, without a doubt. I think it goes without saying. I think just about every single wrestling game had better graphics as they went along. They were always improving them. Even when they were on the same system. I mean, Here Comes the Pain looked a lot better than Shut Your Mouth, and and so on. They've always been improving. Even though if there was only little improvements to each game, sometimes they took a step backward. Just Bring It was a massive disappointment when it first came out. It wasn't that big of a leap aside from graphics over SmackDown 2. Now this game is, not really a big fucking leap though over the SmackDown series from what I've heard. And it's not like it's really so much different than the last game I played in 2009 because it's still pretty much the same game mechanics. I mean, it feels kind of samey in a way. I like the controls in this game. They're pretty good. I'm the breaking point submission. I'm not really a big fan of that because almost everybody has the same submission moves in this game, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Also, the big fucking thing, speaking about moves, is that you can very easily kick out of a finisher, which I didn't like. People kicking out Stone Cold Stunners and Tombstones is unacceptable when your character has low stats. And it's all about the pinning situation. That's what it relates to. The pinning controls in this game are it's an interesting idea. It's a little mini game where a little meter comes out and goes back and forth, and you have to hit it on the correct spot to kick out. And that little spot that you're supposed to hit, it gets smaller and smaller as the match progresses, and your character takes a beating. Now, but if you have pinpoint accuracy, you could kick out almost every single time. I did that actually. If I get up, if I stand up out of my chair and I have like 100% coordination, I was able to kick out almost every single time. When I was having a match in the WWE Universe mode. So that's unacceptable. Unacceptable. And speaking of Universe mode, there's there's like things where the character gets injured, which is kind of cool. It's kind of random. Sometimes you don't want certain characters to get injured, so it's a little bit annoying. Because your character that you're playing as could get injured if he loses a match. That's only if he loses that they get injured. So, it's an interesting idea. But I'm not really too sure if they executed it the right way. I mean, it's kind of cool. They stretch the guy out and all that. But, the one thing I gotta tell you about Universe Mode is that it's done by rankings. And the rankings are severely fucked up in this game. I tried going for the tag titles, and I swear to God, they show you 4 of the top contenders and the champions at the top when you look at the contenders list. And when I tried going for the tag titles, I beat every single contender on that list. Now, do you think I became a contender? No. The only way I did is when I started deleting the tag teams until I was the only tag team left. That's the only way I got a tag title shot in the Universe mode. So that's just stupid. You got the story mode, which is really nothing to speak of. You get to choose between a villain or a face, heel or face, and it's just more of the same. There's no real new ideas really shared here. I really wasn't enjoying it that much. I thought it was kind of lame. And it actually was like the worst story mode that they've had in all the other WWE games as of late, of the SmackDown versus Raw series. It really wasn't that good. They tried to make it interesting that you get to pick between a heel and a face. That was interesting. But the thing is, what I don't like about that type of story mode is that, like, these are the storylines and everything. You should be able to pick every single character in the game like you used to be able to. Now you only have a choice between a couple of wrestlers. What the hell is that? Why are they downsizing? I don't understand. One thing that I wasn't even aware of, because I wasn't keeping up to date on the games, was that you could actually download wrestlers off the internet now, off of Xbox Live. So that's very cool. I got an AJ Styles call, as they would say in wrestling game talk. So I got myself an AJ call, and they actually put AJ's, thing is, Yuke's put AJ's entrance in the game, and he's an Impact Wrestling star. So that was pretty interesting. His movesets in the game. So they did a lot of good things. The only thing is the movesets, the entrances, for some reason they have Lance Cage, Trevor Murdoch, a lot of wrestlers that have been gone for a while. So that was kind of weird to have that in there. If they were going to put preloaded entrances in there, preset ones, I would have liked to see more Attitude Era guys. Like, for example, I downloaded a Steve Blackman call. It would have been nice to have his exact entrance in there, or a Gangrel. I have one of his calls. It would have been nice to have that entrance where he comes out of the Ring of Fire. Another thing I didn't like is that for some reason you can't upload them with entrance music. That would have been a nice thing to see. Because you do have custom soundtracks, and I've even done that. I mean, that's awesome, but that's been a feature that they've had forever in these games. You could give anybody any entrance music you want just by putting in a CD and burning it to your Xbox. So, I like that feature. One thing that's kind of weird in this game that I also thought was a little bit of a fail was that you have you could defend title belts in exhibition. But the thing is, when you have 2 belts, it doesn't really acknowledge it. on the title screen. I didn't like. I mean, on the versus screen, it's pretty much just the first title that you picked. So I don't understand. Like, there's a lot of little features that annoy me in this game. Um, there's a lot. Also, counters are a little bit ridiculous. It's so hard to perform a counter in this game. It's very iffy, but the CPU seems like they have no trouble at all performing a counter. I mean, what's up with that? They always counter every single fucking move. But I play on Legend, so I can't really complain. But there's certain times when your character is beat up, I mean your opponent's beat up, they shouldn't be able to counter a move that easily. I think that's very ridiculous. So, I've got a lot of complaints about this game, but I do enjoy playing it. They've really improved on the hit detection, the clipping issues and everything. Entrances look really good in this game. The commentary is fucking awful in this game. I have to say it hasn't improved at all. The best commentary in the wrestling game was Warzone, and that was for the N64 and the PlayStation. So that's kind of pathetic that they can't get it better than that with all the advanced technology they have today. I like also that you could also create your own arena now, or you could download them. They gave us the WCW Nitro Arena, very nice. So there's a lot of good things about this game, but it lacks in a lot of ways, and there's a lot of glitches, like the Universe is full of glitches. So I mean, I'm gonna have to give this game a 7 out of 10. It's a good game. That's above average, but it lacks in a lot of ways.